everyone, it's Tiffany. I am back in The Sims 4 with a speed build. Now this is an idea I've had since Outdoor Retreat came out, which is probably, I don't want to say my favorite pack ever because like cats and dogs is my favorite pack ever, but like favorite game pack in the world, obviously. It's because, anyway, it's awesome. I love it. I love the contents, mostly because I'm a big outdoor person. So, I mean, like, I love the tents. Like, even in general builds, I will just put tents in the backyard. That's just how much I love it. But anyway, so I'm building a campsite. It's been in the back of my mind. I've just never done it because I knew it was going to take quite a bit of time. And I was just like, you know what? I really, really, really want to finally just take the plunge and do this. Now, I found some really great wood siding there. I just have to say, I think it worked perfect for this. But in case you're wondering, like, what is this? What are you making? I am making kind of like the check-in area, the ranger. I don't want to say the ranger's cabin or whatever, but kind of just like the main area. But I'm also making it into like a house. So let's just say the person on duty is going, well, let's just say a small, like one person owns this entire thing and he lives here, he manages it, and he just like goes to sleep and hangs out in the back, and if he hears a customer, he comes out to the front. You know, it's that kind of situation. So you could run this, I don't want to say you can run this as a retail store, but I guess technically you could if you wanted to, but that's not how I really wanted it to be. I mean, you do whatever you want with it, but I wasn't even going to put in a register, but I just thought it looked good when I did put it in the register. So I made it look a little different, but it's still very cabinet-esque. I was debating on actually putting cabins on the grounds here, but I just ultimately decided that the cabin was going to be for the ranger. We're going to call him the ranger. I don't know why, but it was going to be for the ranger. I guess it works because there's a ranger station, you know, whatever. I mean, the ranger doesn't really take bookings most of the time, but anyway. What was I saying? I don't remember, but I did want to make it look a little rustic, and definitely gave him like the bed that has that metal frame, looks a little beat up, and also we didn't make separate rooms for anything, so it's just one general living area. And I did struggle a little bit with the television thing here because obviously we didn't have much room. I could have did like a single seat, but I don't know, I wanted the option for him to have more room to sprawl out. I don't know, or her, whoever decides to live here. Also, there's 2 doors there because I wanted to use that door for something else, so I was just keeping it for when I needed it. Anyway, I ended up figuring out the television situation. I think he has a nice little area. I did realize he doesn't have a kitchen, so that's a problem you guys are going to have to figure out when you play with this. I mean, honestly, he doesn't need one. I think that's the mentality I was going with, is like I could have given him a microwave or something, but it's a campsite. There's going to be grills, you know what I mean? So he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Or she. I keep saying he. I'm basing it on I recently made a character that kind of like likes the outdoors a lot, so that's what I have in the back of my mind right now. So I'm just kind of decorating it with kind of outdoorsy things and outdoorsy pictures and posters and stuff like that. And I don't think I add anything else. I mean, we just do like the mailbox, and we're going to do the front garden now. And that sign was really bothering me because I knew there was a sign. I knew it. I just knew there was a sign somewhere, which, hint, hint, we will end up finding way later on in the video. That I end up, like, it was a specific for outdoor, the camping one. And here, surprisingly, the fence just started disappearing. I don't know what was happening. It was glitching out like crazy. But it ended up fixing itself in the end. So I was a little confused as to what I wanted to do, because I was going to do the fence, and I was going to do a gate that you had to walk through to get to the actual camping ground. Totally slipped my mind to do that. So we end up way, way, way later in the build adding in a door in the little check-in area so that you get through that way, and we block it off from the front, because I was like, well, I did this flower bed, so if you guys were throwing it back to last build or the build before that, where I did the little flower garden with the outline in the rocks, is like my new favorite thing to do. And I did that small, and I was like, you know what, that's too small, like, what are we gonna do? And then I was like, well, if we add flowers to the side here, it's just not going to look great with the rocks only covering the trees there. So I ended up extending the flower bed to the street. And you see me doing that now. And then we just kind of load that in with flowers as usual and all that fun stuff. And I didn't want to make it completely even and uniform, so I changed it up a little bit, and it kind of works. It kind of looks the same still, but I tried my best. It's a thing. So I did spend a lot of time on landscaping in this build, as you would assume, because it is a campground. And I'd have to add more rocks in here, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna throw in lots of trees, lots of stuff. It took a long time to do this. I went in and I was just like, all right, I could get this done easy. Once I get the ranger's cabin done, once I get the bathrooms done, it'll be smooth sailing. I'll just slap some tents and trees down. But no, that took way longer than I thought. So here I used a rock to mark the very center of the lot because I wanted them to have a lake. Now, I wasn't going to make this lake usable. I was going to just surround it in things, like in trees and flowers and everything. That was the original intent of it. However, things changed, and the way it's going to take a while to get to that point, but when I finally started putting the things around it, it kind of looked better scattered, and there were some breaks in it, so I just threw in a ladder. So if they wanted to swim, they could swim, but I wouldn't advise it. It's not clean. Or they could go fishing in it, or quote-unquote fishing, because they can't really fish in it, but you know what I mean. Well, could they? I mean, we could say they can. Anyway, here I am making the beautiful bathrooms. That's what I wanted the door for. Now, the bathrooms, I just duplicated that whole ranger station. However, it didn't want to do a whole room, so I had to do it individually. It was annoying. But here I just made a bunch of shower stalls, and then I'm going to throw in a bunch for the bathroom as well, like the actual toilet stalls. I did end up expanding this and changing it because I realized I didn't have sinks, and I wanted to add those in, and there was just no way to do it, and I didn't want to really extend it too much, but, you know, I went back and forth with it. And I was going to use the same doors I used for the showers, but I was like, nah, we need a different door, because what if they're taking a shower and they go into the bathroom on accident? Oops. Anyway, another funny thing, I added toilet rolls to all of the stalls, but when I went back for the tour, there's one missing, and they're also way too low to the ground. See, it's missing. It was there like 10 seconds ago. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, if you download this, you gotta add one in, or like that guy's just not gonna be able to use toilet paper. It's fine. I was gonna use the tub sinks, but I was like, well, these ones match the shower, so it looks better. And then of course I put in some trash cans. I wanted to do mirrors, but the mirrors just seemed too weird there, but I went with the small ones anyway. And then I wanted to put something here. I ended up going with that. It's interesting. And then I put a broom on the other side, so we kind of got a little theme going on. I think it's really nice. It does annoy me a little bit how the one bathroom is alone on the one side, but I didn't want to move the door because it needed to be centered. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, I had to cover up the windows because I'm like, whoops, didn't think of that. Now, I don't know what I do next. Oh, I think I started adding in the tents now. I definitely wanted to do different tents for every little area, and I ended up doing 6 areas. So there's 6 campsites in this campground. I thought that was a pretty good fit. I was gonna do 8 originally, but max on the lot is 8 Sims, and chances are your Sim's gonna go camping with their family or somebody, you know what I mean? So I kind of just went with whatever. And then, of course, I added a little bit of a fountain there, and then I kind of just started throwing some camping necessities out that I didn't want to forget to add in. And then I wanted to make a playground, and I didn't really know where to put it. I could have taken out one of the campsites, or like the little campsites, and put it in there, but I kind of wanted to keep all 6 of them. I wanted it kind of uniform. I was also going to put it by the bathroom, but I decided against it. So I decided to put it right outside of the ranger station. And I think it ended up being pretty decent. So this is where I realized the door thing. I slapped in that door so they could actually get through. Anyway, here I also found the sign, which is great. And it fit perfectly. I'm so happy with that. I'm so happy I was able to find that. And then, of course, I covered that all in trees and stuff. But now I'm kind of just laying out generally like what items I want for each campground. I love that picnic table. Then you gotta have the grill with it. It's just like I went to so many campgrounds in my life. Like I have an idea of what the layout is like. I love it. It's wonderful. And then of course I scattered some of the camping chairs. I mean, usually you bring this stuff with you, so this is kind of like an already established campsite. And then we have the tarp because of course you always put the tarp down. Well, Not everybody does it, but I always put a tarp down before I pitch the tent, and then we'll put a tarp over the tent for the extra protection. But obviously we can't put tarps over the tent, so I just put a tarp underneath all of the tents because, you know, why not? It gives it a little bit of decoration too. I like it. So it's like, you can think of this as like, these are more permanent residents. Like this is a more like, if you can live here, you know what I mean? Which actually might be good for my Rags to Riches series. I could just have them like chill out at a campground. But usually that costs money though, so that might not work. Anyway. Anyway, this is, what am I doing now? We're working on another campsite. Usually, honestly, just the same stuff. And I definitely wanted to add in the clothesline because I thought that would be just a fun touch for some of the campsites. I should have did it with all of them, but I didn't. But, oh well, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Something that we would do when we went camping, we would obviously, you know, pitch the tent and then we would hang a clothesline every single time. So can't forget the clothesline. And then I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should have a washroom, like, a washing machine, just like add a little addition onto the bathroom or something. But then I realized there's that tub that you can just use. So I put 2 of those out whenever the time comes. And then this basketball hoop I really wanted to have for like recreational purposes because I've gone to places with basketball hoops. And I didn't really like the way it looked from the front, so I started covering it a little bit with the trees, and I think it looks a lot better. Now, and then I had to add something in there, got some flowers. I think I'm going to start adding more stuff to the pond now, maybe not, I don't know, yes. So this is where I start adding a lot more things to the pond, and you'll see how it gets a little scattered. Obviously, we have the sign, which originally I was going to say says no swimming or use caution when swimming. Well, I was going to say no swimming, but since they can't swim in it, it's just going to be like use caution when swimming. Because, I mean, it looks gross. I wouldn't use it. No, it'd be fun. It would be fun. I've gone swimming in lakes that look like that. Everything's fine. It turns out great. You can see how some things, I'm losing my voice. See how some things are scattered and there's kind of like little gaps here and there. It just looks good like that. So I think I threw in a ladder like right there somewhere, and it was the rustic stone one as well. I think if it would have been a normal pool ladder, I wouldn't have added it in, because I believe they don't technically need it anyway, right? They could just go in, so I know they can just get out from the side. I don't know about going in without a ladder, I would assume. So anyway, just adding in a few more flowers. Again, this goes with like the whole, I don't know what species go together, like I don't I'm just kind of slapping them all together. And then of course I had to get some terrain paint around the campsites, and I kind of wanted to make it a lot less uniform. And of course I've gone to many playgrounds and know the swings always have those marks underneath the swings, so I had to get that detail in, and I was just adding in some dirt detail where it's worn. And I was debating on putting like concrete right there for the basketball, because honestly, in reality, that wouldn't work if there was no concrete there, so, or a hard surface. I really wanted to use this fence for something, and I ended up using it for the door. I don't even know if it works. I didn't test it. I just wanted to use it for something, and anyway, we're back to the pool slash pond. And I wanted to add in a few extra things. I wasn't quite sure about the siding there, but it is what it is. What else am I gonna do? I think did I start adding trees now? I think this is tree time, guys. Tree time was kind of really, I was like originally, oh, this will be easy, like just slap some trees, just, diagonal, like make sure they're not next to one another. And actually it does look okay. But when I was doing it, I was like, no, these are too close together, no. It was just crazy. So I combined all of the outdoor retreat trees, and I threw in the birch trees as well. I don't know if technically you would find them, but I know back home, the childhood home I grew up, we had a big giant yard, and we had pine trees, we had evergreens, we had birch trees, we had like all of them kind of mixed together, so it works, it's fine. And that's where I got that inspiration from, kind of like my backyard from my old childhood home. There's a lot of these trees were kind of similar to the looks of that, and that's what I kind of based it on. Now I'm kind of making, right here, I'm making like a little recreational area where everybody can kind of get together, because I wanted to do that originally, and then I was like, nah, I'll scrap it, but I did have this little space here. Now I put a little fun activity water balloon thing, then I finally found the laundry tubs there. And I forgot to add trash cans at every site, so I started doing that. And I go back to the little rec area, and I think I added in another picnic table. And I don't know if I added in a grill yet, but I definitely added in a grill. So it makes for a nice little recreation area. Like the ranger can totally, I mean, the ranger technically could go to any of these campsites and just grill himself up something, but like technically he could just run back there and use the recreational one because the other people are paying for their sites kind of thing. But I am filling in gaps. I didn't want there to be gaps in between the campsites. So like if you were at a campsite and you saw straight through and you saw another one, I didn't want that to happen. I know if you're on the ground, you can see straight through, but I didn't want it to be a big giant gap. And obviously I had to have the potty bush there. I have 2 of those for in case situations. And again, I'm doing more gap control, and I did it kind of on the border mostly here because it's all going to depend on where you place this lot. And if you place it, like, let's say in the city or something, obviously you don't want to see the city, so you're going to want as many trees as you possibly can to block that. And I tried my best. I don't know if it works in them, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I think I'm just putting in the paths, quote unquote paths now, just the terrain paint to all of the campsites from kind of like the main path. There's not really a specific path. I was going to use this paint that I'm painting everything with for a path, but I ended up just painting everything like that. But I think you can kind of figure out the main path. It's like it circles around the pond and it goes from the ranger station / playground to all the campsites to the bathrooms. It works. It's fine. It's great. Anyway, what are we doing? Oh, we're going on the tour now. I was going to say, I think I ran out of things to do. Now, I probably could have put something there by the mailbox, but I didn't. I totally have space to do that. I mean, we probably should leave it clear anyway. So we're going in. We're ready to check in. Gonna go check in. And this is what we see. It's not anything too special, but we have some nice decorations and maybe a map of the campsite and like some newspaper articles about how this is the best campsite. And then once you are good to go, you come out here and then you walk to your site, which isn't one thing I kind of was annoyed about. I had the swings right there, but again, you can't really move I couldn't move it around. But look at this view. Like I think I did a pretty decent job at covering the ground with the trees. Like you can't see too much beyond the trees, and I think it looks really good. Anyway, we're going to run back into the ranger station here just to take a little gander. So we have our bathroom, our hangout area here, and the bedroom, which is nice and cozy. I actually wouldn't mind living here. It kind of looks pretty nice. Just would need something to eat, but it's fine. I'll just run out here and grill something up. It works. I'll just take something from somebody's cooler. Anyway, I think we're going to start touring the campsites now, which I think are so pretty. I think this whole area is really, really pretty. It turned out way better than I thought it was, especially in this view. The overall overhead view was kind of like, I don't know if it's that great, but it works. It's really good. Now you can see some kind of gap right there straight ahead, and that kind of probably could be filled with some small shrubs or something, but I missed it. So anyway, just touring around. We have our camping supplies. We have our picnic table with some hot chocolate on it, like some good stuff. And I threw some things here and there on there. And I think not every campsite's different. I mean, every tent is a different color, and then not all of them have the hot cocoa decoration. Not all of them have the pots and pans decoration. Not all of them have the same amount of seats or the same color seats. And I think each one just looks so cool and pretty. I love it. I don't know. I really, really like it. I'm happy with how it turned out. And that's what matters now, doesn't it? And moving on to the next one. I think this might be the most hidden campsite, I think. It's either this one or the one beside it, which is the other one beside the other bathroom. So it's not technically beside it. I think it's the most hidden. No, there's a big giant gap there. I think that might be... I don't know. I think it's close to being the most hidden. It's definitely the most hidden from the campsite, I'd say. But here we have our little laundry station, which I really, really love. I'm glad that I added that in. And we're going to move probably onto the bathrooms next. And you can see even the way I organize things on the table is different, so I just made sure to add that little detail in. And again, this view, great, brilliant, love it. And we're going into, we're heading to the bathroom now, but you can see the rec area. We have a little grill, 2 picnic tables, we have the horseshoes, we have this bathroom bush in case like all the bathrooms are occupado. I really, really love the wood paneling. I think it's just so great for camping. So great for the cabin-esque kind of rustic camp look. So obviously we have the bathrooms on one side. Well, we have the toilets on one side, the showers on the other side. So the bathrooms here, the toilet roll is mysteriously gone. And then this one is super low to the ground. It's just a whole thing. I really messed up on those, but it's fine. It's fine. And then here we have the showers, which that's literally what the showers were. Actually, the showers were not a door, but a curtain when I used to go camping all the time. And then we have this area, which I just think the bathrooms turned out really, really good. I really like them. I really like this. I think I've said that enough. I'm just tooting my own horn over here, but honestly I do. I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. And we're going to head on over to the next campsite just to get a quick look at it. And I even like how the picnic tables, I chose the ones that look a little bit more worn, a little bit more rustic. So like the ones that came with base game, I think it was base game, they just look too perfect, you know? And picnic tables are never perfect. They've been out in the weather for I mean, they're perfect obviously when you first buy them. But this campground's been here for a while. Here we have another one. So yeah, I think it's the one we just looked at is the most hidden one, because that one had way more gaps. So there are gaps you need to fill, and I could have filled them, but it runs down to like, it's hard because you don't want the trees to run into one another. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, this one's a nice one. I really like the 3 trees chairs are literally the same color as the tent. It was funny. And then of course we're gonna head back to the last one over here. This campground site, whatever. Really awesome. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this, and I really hope I can think of a let's play that we can do with this. I will be uploading this to the gallery. I will link it down below. My gallery name is just Ohcluck, so download it and follow me if you want to. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.